This module alone is worth paying for, honestly, but I won't sell you too hard here. If you don't want it, don't buy it. Key reminders for successful sales. Sales mastery is a journey. True expertise takes time and practice. So you just stay consistent. You don't get good at sales overnight. You have to keep doing it. It's the same as anything. You don't get good at anything overnight. It takes you a lot of time and a lot of practice. The same thing over and over and over and over again. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about being shit. When I got into sales, I actually had this mindset from like going to the gym and getting better at other things. And I basically was like, all right, this week's a fucking write-off. I'm going to take 20 sales calls. I'll probably close very few of them. But I just want to do this because I think it'll make me better. And it did. The week later, I closed way more people because I was like, holy fuck. I know I'm confident. I've done this before now. I just need to ask these questions, pitch this way, handle objections. It's easy. Everyone starts somewhere. Don't get discouraged by early calls. They're part of the learning process. So your first calls are going to be shit, and that's okay. That's literally the only guarantee I can make you, is that you're going to be shit at the start. The beautiful part of progress in any way in life is that you know that if you do it enough, you'll get better at it. And especially if you're being coached. Especially if you're being coached, you can get better at it. You also have the tools you need. Use the guidance in this module as your foundation and let practice refine your skills. So you literally just need to go through what we teach you. If we've any action items for you, things for you to do, just do those. And then take the calls over and over again. Get like loads under your belt. We'll help you with reviewing them. We'll help you with getting better at them. Super cool. All right? You have tools here at Need. This is why you pay. This is why we help you, right? Revisit this training regularly. Even experienced salespeople come back to the basics. If you watch this back, just skip past the Coldplay gay joke, right? Even experienced salespeople come back to the basics. Review these concepts often. I'm a businessman, right? I'm more interested in business and entrepreneurship and creativity, right? And so I am constantly watching like entrepreneurship and creativity stuff over and over again. Stuff that I've watched like 100 times, but I'm like, this is important. I just want to continually program my brain to think about this stuff. Record your calls. I'm going to show you a tool that you can use to record your calls. And listening to your calls can help you find areas for improvement. You need to watch back at what you're doing. Making content was one of the things that I love the most, and I watch back at my content all the time because I'm like, what could I have done better? I'm constantly roasting myself. Because if you don't, if you think everything you do is great and you don't see any room for improvement, you'll never get better. And some people genuinely think that. It's insufferable to be around those people. They're just like, no, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't close the sale, but I was fine. It's this guy's fault. People who blame other people fucking do my head in. Find practice partners. Role playing with peers can sharpen your skills, but don't avoid real calls. Right? So you can speak to other people in the group here by taking a sales call with them. And you can basically say, hey, do you mind pretending to be a prospect of mine? I'll get you on a call. I'll ask you a few questions. And then you can give me some objections and see how I handle them, right? And that'll help you. But you should genuinely, I would just fucking take sales calls, to be honest. I didn't take any role plays. I just like, fuck it. I want to go straight in. I want to fight people to the death on a call. No, I'm joking. But I just took sales calls because that's the way I roll, right? I just do shit like that. Believe in your growth. Sales skill isn't fixed. With practice, anyone can improve and achieve great results. I used to be shit. I got a lot better. So let's just recap these before I go because it's very important. Very important. Okay. What is the core idea of sales? Pain. Bridging the gap between pain and where they want to be. Very important. Make sure that they are constantly in pain in the call. They should be screaming like a baby in a midwife section, or what do you call it, where babies are born. They should be screaming like that throughout the whole call, right? In their head mentally around the specific marketing problem that they have. Oh yeah, our marketing isn't working right now. They are in their head, they're like screaming like a baby, right? Because they're in pain. They got to be in pain or else they're not going to buy from you. If you solve that pain on the call, they're going to fuck off and never buy from you. How awareness drives sales. Understand there are different levels of awareness, which we cover in this training. And understanding where they're at will help you actually tailor your objections and your questions. I ask different questions on calls. One call, I might be asking someone, okay, you're in a position where you don't even know what a copywriting business is. So I'll teach, like, you know, I'm not teaching you, but I'll ask you questions about why you want to even get into this. Other people have already started a business and they want help growing it. And so I ask them different questions, and understanding awareness of where customers are or people are is very important. The role of a sales call is to show them where they are and where they want to be, and then show them how you can help them do that. And selling results, not just products. So don't fucking tell anyone about the 50 million features of your product. Just sell them what they actually want, which is the result. Coldplay bit. Debunking common myths about sales. So we went over all these different ones. You're not born with it. You don't need to be high energy. Don't be fake. Just fucking be a real person. Very important. Ethical responsibility of sales is very, very important. You actually fucking use these skills that I'm going to teach you for good. Don't be selling dog shit to people. You're going to get very good at sales if you go through this program and do exactly what I say and take a lot of calls. So just use it right, bro, please. The structure of our sales calls, you understand the 5 key points. Ask questions, pitch them, address any questions, respond to objections, and then close that goddamn sale and make some money. And key reminders, you know, we've just went over this one. It's a journey. You got to start somewhere. You have all the tools. Watch this back. Record your calls and look at them back. Find people to help you with it, and believe in yourself. That's going to do it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Comment the word Coldplay if you finish this section, and I will give you a fat ass like on that comment. Alright, thank you for watching. Okay, we're at our final lesson in this course. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. It has been incredibly long to make, but I've saved the best to last here. I promise. This is the cherry on top. I want to give you my entire sales call script so you can just deploy it yourself and use it to close clients like clockwork. Let's jump in. Lesson 2, killer sales call script. So this is lesson 2 in our sales call domination part of this program. And let's just get into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is preparing for the call. Very important you prepare for the call. I've taken calls before where I didn't prepare, where I literally was on my phone, or I'd be just doing stupid shit before the call, and you perform 10 times worse because you're not in the right mental state to do it. If you're not prepared, you won't succeed. Promise you that. So before the call, take 5 or 10 minutes to prepare. Here's some key steps to help you get in the mood. Have the prospect's number ready and be prepared to dial exactly at the scheduled time. So what this means is you're going to be using a software. I use Go High Level, and you're basically going to call the prospect, the person that is booked on the call them exactly at the time of the call via phone, right? If you have their phone number or whatever, right? And if you don't have their phone number, if you don't have a big technical backend setup, just have your own phone, just call them, right? And you only do this now if they don't show up on the Zoom, right? So if they're not on the Zoom, you call them. If they are on the Zoom, you don't need to call them. They're already in the Zoom room. So be prepared to dial exactly at 2 o'clock if the call is at 2 o'clock. Clear your mind of any biases or preconceptions. Approach the call with a calm and open mindset. You're here to help someone. You're not here to just judge this person or have a 45-minute telephone conversation about the weather. Don't focus on making the sale right away. You're genuinely, this is a weird one. Like I used to jump on, all I cared about was the sale, and now I just jump on. I'm like, I want to get to know this person a bit. What's their problems? And then I start to think in the sales mindset, and that's the correct way to do it. And I used to not do that, and I do it now. Instead, think of yourself as a doctor diagnosing an issue before offering a solution. So a doctor doesn't come in being like, I'm going to cure this guy's AIDS or whatever. He thinks, okay, he needs to ask questions to figure out what is the problem, first of all, and then be like, okay, what solution can I provide to you? Eliminate any distractions. Turn off notifications. This is actually basic. And reminds me of a funny story, right? So just turn off notifications, tabs, anything. Just you, a phone, and a notepad. So this reminds me, I remember I went to hire a girl one time a couple of years ago for a social media marketing position to help me basically run my brand or whatever I was doing at the time. And she showed up on the call and there was a parrot in the room. I'm not even joking. A fucking parrot was in the room, and this parrot is literally going off every fucking 5 minutes, like all this shit, right? So out of the blue. And I was just sitting there. I was like, "Are you fucking for real?" See, if the call was now, I'd be like, I would actually probably call her out on the call. I'd be like, "Are you fucking for real? Like, you're taking a call with a fucking parrot in the room?" And her dad walked in halfway through the call. And she just started talking to him, completely ignored me. Fucking worst call I've ever had to sit through. And this was me hiring someone. This was someone trying to pitch themselves to me. So just fucking turn off, get your phone out of the room, or turn off notifications. If you're doing a Zoom call, you don't need your phone in the room at all, unless you're calling someone. And then you just put that shit on airplane mode. Do not let it go off. Do not have any alarms. Check this before you jump on the call, right? And close any tabs that you have open related to other shit, because you need to be focused. You're focused here on figuring out what the problems are and closing the sale. Silence all alerts. This is so important. Preparing for the call, some more stuff here. Let me scroll down. Place a blank piece of paper in front of you for notes. So I literally have this here. I have a big book, cost me like $10, and I just write shit on it, right? I just literally have this sitting with a paper and pen, and it just is, it's a mental thing as well. It just looks, it feels good whenever you're just like, okay, paper and pen ready to take this call, make some notes. Like, let's see, what is this? I have notes about yesterday's call, right? So I wrote, this guy has 6 hours a day to work on his copywriting business. He currently has 2 streams of income. And then I wrote, he enjoys writing. I just asked questions. Nowhere on this page does it say, like, how I could close this guy. I literally didn't even write any of that down. I didn't be like, I think I should sell this guy this or anything. I have a service and we sell it and it's priced as it's priced. So I don't have like, I'm not sitting here coming up with ways to like sell this guy on anything. Sorry, I think my WhatsApp was going to come up there. But yeah, basically just wrote down loads of information. Needs additional income source, wants to get to 15 to 20k a month. He's interested in the commercial opportunities. And then I was like, okay, this guy's a fit. So I just write notes about the person. And when they see you writing notes during the call, they're like, this guy is switched on. He actually gives a fuck about what I'm saying. Don't write notes. They don't know that. They don't know that you're listening to them. Especially don't interrupt people on a call, but that's for later. Never interrupt anyone. Anyway, if the prospect fills out the pre-call questionnaire, which is something I have in place and something you can easily build on your Calendly or whatever, TidyCal or whatever you use, you can have a couple of questions before they book the call, make the questions required. And if they answer them shitty or one-word answers, just don't bother. Like, just don't take the call. You can cancel it ahead of time. If they're lazy and they don't even want to put in a fucking good answer, then just cancel it. And make sure that if they have answered this, you have it available. You read through it beforehand, so you know a little bit about this person. You're a little bit more prepared. And ensure that the call recording is going to work nice and smooth. Use headphones to keep your hands free. I personally don't use headphones all the time. This is just one personal preference. But basically I just have it on the speaker. You can have headphones. It's absolutely fine. Make sure your headphones look good. If they're shit, image again is important. If I could show you my old headphones, let me find them for you. I've actually got them over here. So, these are my old headphones. I used these this year because I basically was putting myself through pain. I needed to hit a certain goal in the business before I could buy new ones. Now I have nice Beats, but if I showed up to a fucking sales call with something like this, obviously they're going to think I'm a fucking idiot, right? So image is important. I used to not care about image, and then I realized it's important, right? So you can do this, or else just have a good speaker. Make sure that your hands are free to take notes. Make sure your environment is quiet and interruption free. So you shouldn't have your dad coming in. You shouldn't have anyone coming in. Take care of going to the bathroom and shit like that before you get on the call. Like, you shouldn't have any reason to be interrupted during this call. It's of vital importance. If you get interrupted, it shows them you don't give a fuck about them. Right, section 1. This is section 1 of our killer sales script. Building quick rapport. Do not be fake about this, right? This is why I record these videos. I could just give you this presentation, but if I don't give you examples of kind of like behind every part of this, it's up for interpretation, and it shouldn't be up for interpretation because it's pretty fucking straightforward, right? Most people have common sense, and they would take a call. I mean, actually, right, I'll just be unbiased here. So some people I've hired in the past to take sales calls open the call with fucking zero charisma. And they're just like, hey, good to see you. Where are you calling from? Or just being fucking dry or just boring. Like if you jump on a call like that and you're just like, hey, what's up? Or you're trying to play it cool, or bro, you're here to make this person like you and solve their problem, right? Don't jump on the call dry. Ask their name, or you already know their name, so say their name. How are you today? Or how's it going? How you doing? Where are you calling from? If I showed you recordings of my calls, I'm not like high energy at the start. I have a bit of high energy because you need a little bit of energy. But I'm also not like freaking out, like just jumping on the screen or anything. But I'm just like, hey, what's up? It's good to see you. Like I make them feel like happy to be on the call with me. I don't fucking, hey, this is a sales call. Do you want to talk about your problems? Nobody wants to fucking do that. But I've seen people, I've reviewed sales calls of people, and it's fucking mind numbing watching them do it. How's your week been so far? Great, let's dive in and get started. So these are just examples, but you basically, let's give you an example. Hey, what's up, David? Nice to see you on the call here. Whereabouts are you calling from? Oh, Zambia. Amazing. I've never been to Zambia. I've been to Zambia. I have 6 children that live in Zambia with my ex-wife, blah, blah, blah. I talk a bit of shit about Zambia or wherever they're from, and I make them like happy that I've related to them, that I actually know about their place. I just say something that acknowledges that I like where they're from, or I like something that they've said, or just make them feel happy, right? This is basic fucking charisma, right? Just ask them questions, make them feel good about the answers they've given you, right? And then be like, okay, so let's just get into it. First question, boom. Why'd you book the call with me? Let's just move here. So setting the agenda. So there's sometimes I do this, sometimes I don't, but basically it's an important thing to do, right? And the reason sometimes I pretty much always do it, to be fair, but I generally just say it in different ways. So I go, all right, this is how this call will go. So this is not word for word, right? Please don't if you read this word for word, it's going to sound like you've read it word for word. It's not that hard to remember these. All right, so here's how this call will go. I'll start by asking some questions about your business, goals, and your responses to your application. Seems like we're a good fit. I'll explain our program and how it can work for you. Then at the end, you can decide if joining feels right. Okay, sounds good. Sometimes I just be like, all right, so I've got a couple of questions, and then if you don't mind, I'm going to pitch you. And then if you have any questions for me, you can answer. Does that sound good? And then they're like, yes. Perfect, let's move on. Right? You don't want this to sound robotic or like you're getting on a sales call. You're just like, You're literally just being honest. You're like, okay, I've got a few questions for you, and then do you mind if I pitch you? I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Like, see how that's not like me being like, awesome, man. Okay, so here's what's going to happen in the call. This is going to happen, and this is going to happen. It's just like, it's so robotic. It's not a real conversation. So don't be robotic. Discovering the main reason for the call. All right, let's begin. What inspired you to make time for this call today? This question helps uncover the prospect's main motivations and goals. So I literally just be like, okay, why did you book a call with me today? First thing, why did you book a call with me? I just get straight in. I don't really say what inspired you. These are example pieces of like the script, but like this is why you make it your own. Like I want to bring you through the different sections, and then you write it in your own way that you would speak. I jump on and I'm like, hey, what's up? Sick. So I've got a couple of questions. Then I'm going to pitch. Is that all good? Okay, sounds good. All right, so first question, why did you book this call with me? And then they tell me. You know what I mean? It sounds natural when I say it because I say it in a natural way. I don't say it like, so under what pretense did you book this call? You know what I mean? That's fucking bullshit. This question helps uncover the prospect's main motivation goals. If you don't get a clear answer, use these follow-ups. When you say, okay, I booked this call because my ass is too fat and I want to get it less fat or whatever with your personal training software or whatever you're selling, right? You're selling copywriting services. When you say this, okay, tell me more about what you mean. Dig into their problem. Dig into what the reason for their call being booked was. Get more detail. If they don't give you enough detail, get more detail out of them. Why do you feel this issue exists? In your own way, obviously. Say this so it's natural. Have you tried to fix this before? If so, what did you try? Okay, have you worked with any other agencies? Have you bought from anyone else? Blah, blah, blah. How long has this problem been around? Right, so you really dig into these problems. Section 4, understanding their current position. Okay, so what exactly do you sell in your business? Like, tell me more about your offer. If you're writing as a copywriter, tell me about your offer. If you ask these questions, it's going to tell them that you actually give a shit about solving their problems. If you just come in here and try and sell this person, they will not, like their guard is up on these calls, right? So if you're jumping in and being like, you just come across as all you want is their money, you will not succeed, right? You've done all the hard work to get them on the call. Now you need to just demonstrate to them that you're a professional, you're a real person, and that you can help them with their service. Someone was at the door, had to pause that. Let's get back into it. So what are the core problems? So just ask these questions in your own way about what they sell. What steps do you take to turn someone from a prospect to a paying client, right? So you need to get to know their business because you're working with businesses here, right? Section 5. Subtly highlighting the pain points. Okay, so how are you currently finding new customers? Do you know how much it costs you to acquire a customer? Do you have a system? So these are just example questions, right? But these are important. Like it's important to dive into the pain points that they have from the things that you're asking, right? So asking them like, what's your current monthly revenue? How do you think as a copywriter I could help you do that? Blah, 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 right? Sorry, someone's at the door again. We are back. So I generally ask a couple of questions here and highlight the pain points, right? So you can ask questions like, if you're smart enough, you can kind of figure out, you can use your awareness of what they've said to you from the previous questions and ask them questions that you know they're going to fail at. So basically like, let's say, okay, so I need to write YouTube scripts for you. Okay, let's just go through an example of this, right? So I'm going to write YouTube scripts for somebody. Okay, so what exactly do you sell? Okay, I sell coaching programs for yoga. I teach people yoga, right? All right, and how do you set your prices? What do you typically charge? I charge $200 for this course. Okay. Of your products and services, is that okay? So this is like not based on the answer. You don't ask stupid questions. This is where like not being scripted is important. What does your ideal or dream client look like? Okay, perfect. And what are the main features? Like basically, these are going to be the reason these are just example questions, but you need to come up with your own questions that actually apply to whatever you're selling. This is why using a script word for word does not work. And I don't care what course you watch online. Oh, this script made me X amount of money. When I say script here, I mean a skeleton of a script. You need to customize this. If you don't customize it, you will not sell people. Because the thing is, I cannot give a script that works for every single business. It doesn't exist because different businesses have different questions. Different prospects have different problems and different questions need to be asked to those people. So you need to think about your offer and the person that you're selling it to, why they booked the call, what they're saying to you, and then tailor your own questions based off that, right? There's no one on planet Earth can give you a script word for word. So if that's in your head, because a lot of people think you just copy and paste the script and if I say these things in this way, it'll sell this thing. No. You build your own script, and then once you build your own script, you can teach your own team members to read off that script in a natural way if you hire people. But you can't rely on a single script. So on that YouTube example, I basically asked them, tell me more about what you do, what you sell, how much it is. And then okay, so, and then I'd maybe ask a question. Okay, so what are you doing with YouTube right now? Okay. And you put out one YouTube video a week. Okay. And do you enjoy writing them? No, not really. I don't really enjoy them. Oh, why not? I'm just not that creative, and it's just a pain in the ass for me to go through. Okay, is it, and then I dive in and ask more questions. Let me even think of one. So it's like, do you enjoy any part of that process? No, just repeat the questions in slightly different ways, but you want to open up as much of their pain through these questions so that you have leverage for later in the call, and they also feel like, okay, I'm really in pain here. You let them sweat the problems that they're having by basically asking these questions. And then I just dig in, with these subtly highlighting the pain points, you just dig in a little bit. Just figure out because the thing is, right, if I have something to sell, and we'll talk about this later, but if I have something to sell, I know I'm ethical as a sales rep, it is my duty to basically get this person to buy because I know that I can help. if you're a doctor, right, and I don't know, in America or whatever, even anywhere that they sell like private healthcare, if they know you have a disease that they can help you with and you have to buy it, they're going to sell you on it because it's going to be like the morally right thing for them to do. And so if I know that my YouTube script writing services can make you more money and that you're in pain, I'm going to sell you on that. You know what I mean? So I would just dig in with more questions on the pain points. Section 6, setting goals and envisioning the future. So what's your goal for the next 12 months for your business, and what's your target monthly revenue, and you can ask more specific questions to whatever it is you're selling. So, okay, so what's your goal with the YouTube channel? How many views do you want to be getting? What do you really want to get out of this? It's usually like for YouTube videos, it's like they want to get qualified leads. They want to get people to buy their stuff. They want to get subscribers. They want to get loyal fans, blah, blah, blah. Right? You need to get these specific things from them, what they need help with. And if they're unsure, make sure you define that with questions. Their goals should be theirs, not yours, right? So you make sure they define it. And you need to dig in and really get a defined goal. You need to be able to write down what their goal is. If they say, I just want to make more sales. How many sales? How many sales a month? Because if they don't know that, and half the time they don't, then you can't really help them because you're like, okay, you just want to make more sales. Like, how do I even logically propose to you that I can help you do that? Because like, you don't know, like, if you don't know how many sales they want to make, you can't really pitch them on like an offer where it's like, okay, if you pay me 4K a month and you make 20K back in sales, would that be worth it? Obviously it's worth it to them, but like, you haven't even set those goals out if you don't ask these questions. So you have to ask them specifically, how much do you want to make? Or what is the specific goal you have? Get numbers, and get a date that they want to buy. And just be like, okay, so when do you want that by? And do you think you can currently do that without my help? Or not even like, that's actually a little bit salesy. I never say that. Do you think you can currently do that by yourself? Obviously not. That's why I'm on a fucking sales call, right? But like, ask these, and don't ask them in a stupid way, because good sales or good business owners are not stupid. If you ask these in a neutral, decent way, people will respond. What's driving you? Yeah, so you dig in further. Why do you want to get to that goal? You're not really asking them all the specifics of it. You're saying, okay, what's your goal? Once you get the specific number, why do you want to get there? Really, really why? How would your business, how would your life change if you got that set up? Would you have more time? Would my YouTube scripts free up your time? What impact would reaching this goal have on other parts of your life? Would you spend more time with your children? Would you travel the world? Would you get to go to Thailand and fight people? I don't know. Whatever you want. What do you get to do with that extra time that you have, or the extra money you're making? You need to ask these. Encourage them to picture reaching the goal. If their target seems modest, ask, do you think you could aim higher if things were working as planned? So make them want to make more. I always ask. They're like, okay, I want to make 10K a month with my copywriting business. Okay, and do you think you could actually do more than that? Well, yeah, I suppose if I had the right systems. Yeah, I think it's doable. I think you could definitely, if you could hit 10K a month, why couldn't you hit 11K or 20K or 30K? You know what I mean? If you get systems, you build a business. You can do this over and over again. So make them really, really envision. Make them be, their mind has to be focused on thinking about the goal. Their pain and then the goal. They're not thinking about all the little technicalities in between. They're thinking about, this is what I'm currently struggling with. This is my dream scenario. Boom. You're just going to help them get that, right? Let's go to the next one. Section 7. Here we go. Getting the prospect to recognize their own challenges. So you're making 4K a month right now, and you'd like to hit 4.1K a month. No, 20K a month, whatever. What's stopping you from achieving this on your own? Look for one of the responses indicating that they're seeking help. So you need to basically figure out, you need to get an answer, something like this, right? They either lack the knowledge or expertise. They want to get there faster. Like sometimes people come on calls and they think they know it all. And, these are interesting calls because they have the ego of someone who has achieved it, but they haven't achieved it. And they think you are there simply just to serve them. But you have to approach this in the right way. You can't ego clash with them. You just have to be like, all right, so you know how to do it, so why have you not done it? And you ask that in the right way. You can't ask it like I just asked it, because that's just going to trigger them and be like, fuck you. You say all right, so you know how to do it. Is there a reason you haven't done it right now, or why would that be? And then usually with enough like neutral questioning and neutral language, you're able to help them get to the solution. They want a structured system or mentorship. So there's plenty of ways that they can solve their problem, right? You need to find out this reason. Next section.